So here we go with our last derivative video here. And this sort of ends the little mini section on filling out the rest of our integral, our table of integrals. In the last one we just did the derivative of arcsine. And today we're going to be doing the derivative of arctangent. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of rewrite this Pythagorean identity in a form that has tangents in it. And the way I'm going to do that is that I notice I have sine here. If I divide this by cosine, namely cosine squared, then this will become tangent. So that's why I'm going to divide all sides of this by cosine squared x. If I have to do it to one thing, I have to do it to everything. But at least I notice that if I do it to this one, I get a tangent out of it. So what does that imply? We get tangent squared, because sine over cosine is tangent. Cosine squared over cosine squared is 1. And then here we get 1 over cosine squared. What's 1 over cosine? That's just secant. And then you're going to see why we're going to do this in a second. Actually, no, we're going to leave it like that. So now let's move on to the derivative here. Just like the last one, we're going to let y equal arctan x. Just like before, this is just the definition of arctan. I can apply tangent to it and it undoes it. So we're getting rid of the arctan. That would mean that the tangent of y equals x. And now I'm going to take the derivative with respect to x of both sides. The left-hand side will become 1. I'm sorry, the right-hand side becomes 1 because the derivative of x is just 1. The left-hand side is an implicit differentiation. So I have to take the derivative of tangent, which is secant squared. I'm sorry, not x. It'll be y. And then I have to multiply by y prime. And now I'll solve for y prime. Y prime is just going to be 1 over secant squared of y. And secant squared of y, I actually see that here. That's just 1 tangent squared of y plus 1. It's x up here and it's y. It doesn't matter. It's just a variable. So I'm going to rewrite it like that. Secant squared is just tangent squared plus 1. And just like last time, I notice tangent y in my answer, and I notice tangent y up here. Tangent y is just x. So that's going to be 1 over x squared, because x is tangent y, plus 1. And that's the derivative. So now we've actually, this wasn't the whole point of doing, the end goal of this was not to get the derivative, it was actually to fill out our integral table. So now from this video and the last video, you know that the integral of 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared is sine inverse, or arcsine, plus c. And now here you know the the integral of 1 over 1 plus x squared is arctan. And that's just by knowing that the derivative of arctan is 1 over 1 plus x squared. This is just the definition of an antiderivative. So these two answers are just two that you should know. And I kept it short here, but hopefully this made sense. And yeah.